You think you know your zodiac sign. You've read the traits, shared the memes, blamed your behavior on Mercury retrograde. But what if your greatest strength is actually your most dangerous weakness? Psychology calls it the shadow self. In spiritual work, we call it the blind spot. Today, I'm not reading your horoscope. I'm exposing the part of your sign you secretly don't like about yourself. And before this is over, one sign is going to feel personally attacked. Stay with me, because the last 3 signs are where this gets uncomfortable. Every zodiac sign has light, and every light casts a shadow. Your flaw is not separate from your power. It is your power used in fear. Listen for your sun sign, but pay attention to your rising sign too, because that is often where the shadow acts out the loudest. If something stings, don't click away. That's the point. Let's begin. Aries, your power is ignition. You walk into stagnant rooms and bring them to life. You start what others are too afraid to begin. But your shadow is this: you don't slow down, because if you stop moving, you're afraid you disappear. Your anger is often panic. You create friction just to feel real. You burn bridges so the fire proves you existed. Silence feels like death to you, so you choose chaos over stillness. Be honest. How many fights started because peace felt unfamiliar? Leo, your power is atmosphere. When you rise, everyone rises. When you fall, the whole room feels it. You regulate emotional climate like the sun regulates seasons. But your shadow is the need for proof, applause, validation, reaction. Sometimes you perform intimacy instead of feeling it. You confuse being admired with being known. And the question you avoid is simple. Who are you when nobody is watching? Sagittarius. Your power is foresight. You see where things are going before anyone else does. You sense patterns and outcomes before they unfold. But your shadow is avoidance disguised as freedom. When emotions get heavy, you move. You intellectualize pain. You laugh instead of lean in. You leave before you're left and call it growth, when sometimes it was just escape. Movement is not always evolution. Taurus. Your power is stability. You build what lasts. You turn ideas into matter. You ground chaos into structure. But your shadow is attachment. You cling to comfort, to grudges, to old identities. You stay in situations long after they expire because uncertainty feels worse than dissatisfaction. You say you hate change, but what you really hate is losing control. Virgo. Your power is refinement. You instantly see what is misaligned. You know how to fix systems, environments, even people. But your shadow is believing you must earn love through usefulness. You analyze emotions instead of feeling them. You correct others because you are constantly correcting yourself. Rest feels irresponsible to you. And sometimes your perfectionism is just fear wearing a productivity mask. Capricorn, your power is endurance. You withstand pressure that would break most people. You think long-term. You sacrifice comfort for legacy. But your shadow is emotional restriction. You equate worth with productivity. You struggle to let people see vulnerability. You build walls so high that even love struggles to climb them. You fear being useless more than being alone. And sometimes that fear quietly creates the isolation you never admit to. Now pause for a second. If you've felt slightly exposed already, we're only halfway through. The air and water signs tend to react the strongest to this next part. Keep listening. Gemini, your power is adaptability. You understand multiple perspectives at once. You are mentally agile and socially fluid. But your shadow is fragmentation. You become whoever the moment requires and sometimes forget who you are without an audience. You avoid depth by multiplying options. You fear boredom because boredom forces you inward. And inward feels unfamiliar. Libra, your power is harmony. You instinctively adjust your energy to create peace. You make people feel safe and understood. But your shadow is self-erasure. You say yes when you mean no. You smooth conflict at your own expense. Then you resent the peace you created. You call it kindness, but sometimes it is control. Because if everyone is happy, you don't have to risk rejection. And that resentment you swallow? It doesn't disappear. It just waits. Aquarius, your power is vision. You understand systems, collective movements, future possibilities. You think ahead of your time, but your shadow is detachment. You analyze feelings instead of experiencing them. You love humanity as an idea, but struggle with emotional closeness. You distance yourself to protect your individuality, sometimes isolating yourself in the process. You fear being ordinary more than you fear being alone. Cancer, your power is emotional intelligence. You know what someone needs before they ask. You nurture, protect, and remember everything. But your shadow is controlled through care. You give so deeply that others become dependent. You create silent expectations. You expect mind reading because you offer it so naturally. And when it doesn't happen, you retreat. You withdraw instead of confronting, and silence becomes your weapon. Scorpio, your power is transformation. You survive devastation and rebuild stronger than before. You see deception instantly. You sense betrayal before it surfaces. But your shadow is distrust. You don't trust anyone fully. You test people quietly, and when they fail your unspoken test, you call it intuition. You crave intimacy yet prepare for betrayal. You sting first to avoid being stung. Control feels safer than vulnerability, even when it pushes away the closeness you claim to want. Pisces, your power is empathy. You dissolve boundaries and feel the emotional undercurrents of everything around you. You imagine new realities into being, but your shadow is escape. When emotions overwhelm you, you disappear into fantasy, distraction, or avoidance. You say the world is too harsh, yet grounding yourself feels too limiting. You float when you need to anchor. And sometimes you play small because responsibility feels heavier than dreaming. Here is the truth. Your flaw is not your enemy. It is your power moving in the wrong direction. When you catch yourself mid-pattern, when you recognize the defense instead of acting from it, that is integration. You do not eliminate your shadow. You understand it. And when you understand it, your zodiac sign stops sabotaging you and starts strengthening you. Now tell me, did your rising sign hit harder than your sun? And which shadow felt the most accurate?